Hey, hi Enders. Happy Friday. How are you guys doing? I am reporting from Ljubljana, from Alessia's place, and as you can see, obviously. And I was touched and felt a need and, felt blessed. So we have two new successes to appreciate and to celebrate. One of them was behind the scenes, but somebody that I worked with a while ago kind of like doubled the prices and started selling 10K packages, which is awesome and amazing and so well deserved. And I just want to be like, you know amazing, when people start to recognize and own their worth so much more and start to believe in themselves and just truly step up to that role. And then also, again, we have Olivia, who's like kicking ass on Instagram and in her Facebook page, and she's created several different social media brands, and she's having this amazing 30 days, quick Instagram, cash, course that we've created. And she's having amazing, she's already sold 8 spots in like 7 days or 8 days even. Like, it's just unbelievable, and I love action takers and people who, compliment, obviously, my personality, right? So I just want to talk a little bit about that because it seems to be a common topic for everybody, right? And so 2020 has been so much, like, not just for me but for everybody that I've been working with. This theme or topic, like, just became so obvious. And this is like, do operate with what you already have. To believe in, goodness and worthiness, and self-appreciate yourself and talk yourself into believing in yourself, because when you do, everybody else will as well. And, the only person that actually needs to believe in yourself to make things possible, to, like, we're just creating amazing, badass membership site with Lily, who's amazing. And she's also taking care of like so much other things that I just wouldn't have time to touch upon in such depth. So she's a very, very valuable member of my team now. And so we're also creating an amazing like sales page, landing page for the Ambitious Leap group program, which is going to be kind of like launching again soon in July. And so what I want to say is that, sooner or later, and if you work on it, and if you're like, daily working on it, it's going to be sooner, rather than later, right? But you got to dare, you got to be bold, you got to be, progressive in your own way, whether it's just, not just, whether it's like exploring that expertise, investing in that, what we call genius work, or whether it's, tapping into this new marketing strategies, or blowing up your Instagram, or, creating this like completely new offer that is going to be like 10 times, price wise or value wise, to what you've ever offered, to your audience. Like, just like make shifts, make changes. And I know, a lot of you has been going through also personal changes, right? And we've had global changes and shifts and everything. So this is very much timely and aligned, and, something that needs to be said. And the thing is, we are all needed, with our expertise, with our unique gifts, with our unique skills, with our unique persuasion even, right? With our, each, we have each this kind of like deep commitment or conviction even, like, why we show up daily, for who, and even in times when business is, it gets difficult, it gets heavy, it can get challenging, like very, very much so, right? And so it's not for everybody, right? And so for those of you who have been, challenged in any way and you feel like you lag that, okay, what is my next step? Like, how can I step up? I mean, there's so many options, right? Not just like, me and this group, obviously, but of course, like to lean in, to get support, to, educate yourself, to play with, I don't know, Periscope or, Instagram or whatever, is kind of like, feels something that would kind of like increase your visibility, or to launch, a membership site, like as one of you is going to be doing that, like in the wellness industry, right? And kind of like keep being progressive. I mean, even though, it can get really slow, or it's kind of like it appears as like nothing is moving. It's like, keep believing in yourself, right? Like keep showing up for yourself, because that's all that you need to do when, kind of like you have the feeling that kind of like time stands still. And it's like, it's there where you kind of like, where your appreciation is going to mature, where your grace is going to mature, where your, kindness towards yourself and others is going to mature, where the decision that serving clients in this whole new way, in terms of like give more than what you're receiving, right? This is a philosophy that I've lived, forever, right? So this is nothing new for me. But it's not like that for everybody, right? It's like, it's not about the money at all, but you will see, you will get rewarded every time, right? Because it's not just, it's going to be internal reward. Following your desire is always going to be rewarded with, satisfaction, and even more so with excitement, and with this like inner pull that it's kind of like pulling us forward. And I know you can feel that, because otherwise you wouldn't be here, right? So again, what are those things? How do you activate your power? How do you start believing in yourself? How do you, like, what are the thoughts? What are the words? What are the sentences where you actually, often we do this projection inside of our mind. We go like, oh, I wish my, parent or mom or, boyfriend or, my coach, said, this. And then you have a sentence of like, this is how, I like others to empower me. I'm inviting you, empower yourself, because it's equally, it's the same. Or the second option is ask those people to empower you, right? Like ask actively to be supported, ask actively to be empowered, right? Is like, if you feel whatever you feel, and this is something that Daniela, my client, like is she's so beautiful with how she's communicating, with her group and with her people, and also within her family. I can imagine, right? Like she just kind of like asks, to be supported, like on continuous basis, right? And it's one of the most beautiful things, because then the universe delivers, right? But you need to be asking. You need to be asking. Everybody is we are too shy and too small on the asking part, right? And so let me just remind you, if you've been in this group for 3 months, so I think Daniela's journey started like in December last year, but when she became a member of this group, right? But like the active part of mentoring and coaching, and she was not in a place where, she knew it was possible, she knew it was doable, of course, but she had no idea how. And she set a goal, like a financial goal, and, a group of women, a number of that number as well, right? So we hit that goal to, I think she was shot, like, I think it was like maybe like $1,000 of a difference in that goal, right? And so that goal was so meaningful to her, because not only it proved that, she's a real badass, like she is amazing at sales. She forgot about that a little bit, right? All she needed was, support and to be reminded to believe in herself, to be kind of like coached, but also, I would just step out of way so she could be, the force that she is. And she would just be like on and on and on and on, right? And she would be just bringing new sales as the same way as all the other clients are doing right now, right? And so this is where, when you stop thinking about, oh my God, like this is what is the future, like how am I gonna ever, and you just, stand still in the now. And you ask yourself, like, if this was the only moment, what would I be doing right now? Like how would I be stepping out? How would I be following my, integrity? How would I be, creating that massive action that I'm actually, talking about or thinking about, or, just don't kind of like believe in myself that I can yet do. And the belief is always changeable, right? The belief can be changed. That's like, I'm not going to say the easiest part, because you need to be willing to change a belief, right? And so if the belief is, well, I'm always going to be, living this mediocre life, then that's where you're going to be. But I don't wish that upon you. I wish, a very, very creative, very juicy, very happy, very, sexy, very powerful, and very meaningful, rich life to all of us. That's my, always my prayer and always my conditioning for, all humans, right? And so this is kind of like, this is what we signed up for. This is why we're here. We're not here to live a mediocre, meaningless lives, worried about the bills. You can be worried about the bills and have $1 million company, or be worried about the bills and, be stuck at like, I don't know, 20,000 a year. It's the same principle. Worry is not going to disappear. That's just a behavior, right? But, if you let your worry just a little bit like on the side, or your concerns, or your, I'm not good enough, like, right? Which I struggle with that as well. Like all the time, even before this live, I had to kind of like convince myself a little bit, should I really, is it necessary? Like, do they need to hear from me? Don't they think it's too much? Like, they're busy, like they have other, I don't know, 7 trillion, YouTube's videos to watch. Like, why would anybody watch me? What is it, why would, whatever I have to say be relevant to anybody, right? So, but the decision is that it is going to be relevant. The decision is, something is, trying to come through. Some people need to hear this, right? And this is why I'm willing, to be uncomfortable for, 15 minutes and share this with you and expose myself and show up and be here and, brag about my clients, because I love doing that, right? And so this is where we realize that we are capable. Like, we were born capable. We were born, rich, right? Like, all this is just, it's a story. It's Maya. It's called, in Buddhism, it's called illusion, right? And so if your illusion, is like 100 bills, sure. But you need to set it like, you need to, that's the same, type of an illusion as, as this is, right? Like, it's strawberries, right? It's the same, substance, right? I mean, if you believe in them, they're going to be there, right? And if you don't, they're not, right? But the story that we create about the strawberries, what was it? It was actually so funny, because Alesh prepared this after our lunch. And he said he has quite a sweet tooth, so he loves dessert and all the things, right? But I'm like, I don't prefer, fruit after my, whatever, like food, because it puts me in a coma or something like that. So I was kind of like, why did you make this now? Like, I'm not going to eat it. Like, like I'm going to do this, in a couple of hours. And so you really... it was not necessary, right? Like, it was sweet, but it was kind of like, don't you know me better? And then he was just laughing, and he was like, well, I'm just going to eat it now. And I was like, well, that's awesome. But, I'm just going to put my strawberries into the fridge until I'm, hungry again, right? So, but this is like where, this is what I mean. We're always plentiful with abundance. There's always... lots of things. It doesn't mean that you're always going to be able to consume everything, right? Because even, millions are available to us. Sure. Are you able to receive that? Do you have a proper channel? Does your work or your pricing or your way of setting up your business allow that even, right? But because, I mean, sure, you can do a lottery. That's one way to go about it, right? But if we're talking about a long-term kind of like relationship with your business, with your clients, with the work, with your genius method, right? Then, and if we're talking about, how are you even going to prepare that, for your million, let's say that, right? It's like you only need like 100 people who's going to be buying a package at 10K, right? This is not a big deal. It really isn't, right? 10K package is something of high value, to your client, that they're already, seeking and needing and wanting right now. And right now, the market is saturated with people who need service, whether it's, love relationship, whether it's social media, whether it's sales, whether it's premium pricing, whether it's, flagship offers creation, whether it's marketing, whether it's like all the areas, the obvious areas that, humans need to exist in this world are in dire need, right? And so right now you can be making that decision, which is going to be, we make that decision every month and, every year. Where am I going to position myself? What type of, positioning is through pricing. So, as I said in the beginning, you can position yourself, as, a 1K type of a coach, right? Or you can position yourself as, 100K type of a coach, right? So what is that makes and creates that difference between those two coaches, right? It's the value that they deliver, right? It's the results that they're able to provide for their clients, the support, the accountability, the willingness to go that super like extra mile, the willingness to educate themselves, willingness to invest in themselves, willingness to, explore different areas that their clients, are going to be needing. And so this is where, if you don't feel equipped for it, you get equipped for it, right? Like you get that education, or you get that, you spend 10,000 hours and you learn that expertise like we all did, right? And so this is where, you start to believe in yourself through experience, because only through experience we can actually build real confidence, right? And so it's not something where, you see people who are, super loud or just super good at like being salespeople. It's different than real confidence, right? Like real confidence is something very, very different. It's something where you actually know, and you don't even have to be using words, but you just know, and from your experience, you know how things go. You know how to, how to play the game, if you will, right? You know how to apply things when, how to not, overburden your clients or, partner. So from an experiential level, how things work, right? And that's already like, it's like 95%, further, from all the crowd who just talks theory and who's just talking, because you can see in marketing, those who just talk, who just talk confidently and who just want to appear as experts, and who want to appear as, being there and done that. And then, people who actually have been there and have done that, and, they don't have to be proving and showing, to everybody the numbers and all of the things, right? So I'm just kind of like excited and kind of like blessed all this week, because we were also booking a lot of podcasting, podcast guesting sessions. We're also preparing slowly our own like podcast, and so we're going to be doing that, and also some other amazing things. So I'm super excited for 2020 actually, and I wish for you to do the same, to be excited and to believe in yourself, and just decide once and for all, and then every day and every minute in between, to believe in yourself, and to always be making decisions from there, to always be treating yourself from, believing yourself that you are equipped, that you are here for a reason, and that you signed up for this, right? So with that being said, have a gorgeous weekend, and we'll talk soon. Bye.